What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Ripken Show. My name is Brad. That guy is Zach, and Ryan is still not here. But do we care, Zach?
No.
No, we don't, and neither does the world of sports. Rip will be back next week. He's still on his honeymoon. I'm sure he will tell us all about it, and he actually has got a lot of FOMO, Zach. You want to know why Ryan has a lot of FOMO today?
Why is that, Brad?
Because Draymond Jones is going to join the show, and he is not, I don't want to say he's not happy, but you can just tell he's like when he's texting, like he's texting things like, hey, are you good? Do you know what you're talking about today? Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, bro, enjoy your honeymoon. If Jamie doesn't know that you're texting me, like, yeah, well, now she does. Just blowing up your spot. But listen, hey, yeah, Draymond Jones is joining the show today. We're going to be talking to him about some of the shit talking that went on last week with him and Joe Burrow and all the crying and everything else. I cannot wait to get his perspective on that from last week and also the week coming up. I mean, look, we got a big game tonight with the Rams and the Seahawks, and we're going to talk all about that. Also, like, what's going on with the Nakua family? We'll talk about that. But look, there is a big game going on in Baltimore this Sunday night that got flexed. The Patriots, the Ravens. We're talking about all of that, plus what's going on in the hot stove. But Zach, before we get into any of that, what's on your mind, man?
Man, first, I mean, we got a good, we talked about this a little bit before we came on, but we got a good Sunday night or Thursday night football game. At least I hope. We have potential for one. We will see how it plays out because we've been burned many a times on Thursday night football, but it just feels like we have meaningful games. College football playoffs starts tomorrow night.
Yeah.
A lot of meaningful cold weather football. It feels good.
It does
say that like it's not Seattle and LA tonight. Meaningful football, maybe not the cold weather there, but meaningful football going down. Love it.
It's one of those things where we've talked all season long, like there is just, and we're still feel this way, right? Where there's no clear dominant team that we think is just favored to go to the Super Bowl and win the whole thing. But if there were two teams that you were talking about that are in the discussion, it's the Rams, it's the Seahawks, and this is going to be an electric game. I hope. Because every time I get myself hyped up for a game like this, it always lets me down because it's on a damn Thursday night. And I just hope that because it is on a Thursday night that it actually lives up to the hype because of who's actually playing tonight.
I think the biggest thing is we just expect, hopefully, there's a lot of two high-powered offenses.
Yeah.
Obviously, a Mike McDonald defense. You got Sean McVay, and the Rams have a lot of great pass rushers, but you just kind of hope for a fun game, but that usually means that this is going to be 17-14 with 10 points scored in the second half, and it comes down to a bunch of defensive stops, which is cool, which is fun. There's nothing, wrong with that, but definitely I feel like when I'm seeing Rams Seahawks, I'm hoping we see, a 31-28 game. I want to see a bunch of yards. I want to see all this. I think that's where my head is at right now with my hopes.
I think so. I mean, look, the Seahawks, they beat them the first time around. I can't remember who won the first.
I know. Now I'm trying to. I think the Rams barely
walked away with that one.
Yeah, but
I was trying to remember too,
so that I can get the official. When did they play? Gosh, they played.
It was like the beginning of the season, I think. First 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, no, actually, it was in November 16th. It was, Rams walked away with a 2-point win. I was going to say, I think they was barely scraped out, I thought. And yeah.
Well, listen, here's to hoping for some high-scoring, high-powered offenses. I just don't think that that's going to happen. And I definitely don't think it's going to happen in that first drive. Because, at least the first drive for the Rams, because Puka Nacua is going to be sitting out that first drive. Lots of controversy going around with Puka Nacua, but also his brother, Zach.
Yeah. What a weird, 48, 72 hours for the Nacua family. This went from one of those families where you're like, they're just all ball.
Yeah.
They just focus on one thing and they're just, those quiet, fun guys. And then, obviously the Puka Nacua thing where he kind of got with by Aiden Ross and all those streamers. Honestly, this is just one of those things where it's like probably not great during the middle of the week, the work week, to just go on new streams anyway. Probably should just stay away from that. I mean, he literally tried to get them into the Rams facility, and Sean McVay was like, hey, no. Like, I just feel like that was a read the room. The whole situation with the gestures and all that, I think he more was just going along with it, and he got one of those. So
so if you guys are living under a rock or you haven't seen anything that's been happening, so Puka Nacua was on Aiden Ross's live stream, and Aiden Ross got him to do some gestures that were considered anti-Semitic, which, to be quite frank, I looking at the footage, you can go watch it yourself. We're not going to show it here, but like looking at the footage, to me, it seemed as if it was very innocent from Puka's standpoint. And look, maybe I'm wrong on this, but it seemed as if, and we'll show his apology here in a second, because the NFL got involved, and I was just like, holy shit, this is a real thing, because I didn't realize that like that was an anti-Semitic gesture. I just and Aiden Ross is Jewish himself, so like I think to me it just seemed as if it was like an innocent, I didn't know type of thing, and then it just got blown up all over social media.
Yeah, it was one of those stories where like I saw something about it, and I saw different videos, and I was like, I wasn't really sure what.
I was expecting something horrible. I thought like
I also was under the impression that everyone was mad at him up until a few hours ago, to be honest, just about him trying to get them in the Rams facility. Like I saw a bunch of people of like, Puka can't be doing this, and I thought the entire thing was about Puka trying to get into the Rams facility, and then all of a sudden this stuff's coming out. I'm like, when did this happen? I will hand up. I've never watched an Aiden Ross stream, so I was not living it in the moment.
That makes me feel better because we're 15 years apart. So
that was.
I don't feel like such an old man.
Yeah, I had never watched one of those streams, and really with any streamer. So it's definitely that was some of those news things where you feel like, what world are we living in?
Yeah,
like what year is it where Aiden Ross and Puka Nacua are meeting up before the biggest game of their season, and he's trying to get them, and all this stuff's going down. And so here is like you said, the apology from Puka Nacua, saying, when I appeared the other day on social media live stream, it was suggested to me to perform a specific movement as part of my next touchdown celebration. At the time, I had no idea this act was anti-Semitic in nature and perpetuated harmful stereotypes against Jewish people. I deeply apologize to anyone who was offended by my actions, as I do not stand for any form of racism, bigotry, or hate of another group of people.
Yeah, and you know what? I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. There's no reason for me to believe that this isn't genuine. Just because, like I said, if you go back and watch the video, to me, it seems as if it was a very innocent thing. He just didn't know. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't know. But the one thing that does piss me off, I don't know Aiden Ross to save myself. Like you said, I haven't really watched too many, I think I watched a total of 5 minutes of one of his streams.
Yeah.
But this is what pisses off athletes. Like, when we try to get them on shows like this, and like they're super standoffish, or they don't want to come on because there's a lot of distrust out there. And just like, come on, man. Like, that kind of shit it sucks.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it like, I understand why athletes are so like standoffish about doing these types of things, because you put, especially a live stream, like it's one thing if it's pre-recorded and you could be like, hey, I don't want that out there, hey, we weren't doing this or that, I didn't understand at the time. But for them to be live, like that's a lot of trust the athlete puts on the streamer. And then that's not even like, you would think that is where it stopped for the Nacua family drama.
Yeah.
I mean, so for those listening, Puka Nacua's brother Samson Nacua has been arrested after allegedly stealing Los Angeles Lakers rookie Adu Thiero's SUV, per NBC Los Angeles. You can read, 2 men, including the brother of Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua, were arrested over the weekend after allegedly taking Los Angeles Lakers forward Adu Thiero's SUV without his consent. So I'm assuming they know each other then, because they're saying without his. According to Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, deputies this is the funny part, were called to to the one hotel in West Hollywood after the vehicle was tracked to the hotel. LASD exclusively told NBC4 investigates. There, the suspects had valeted the car and entered the hotel. So they stole a car and valeted it.
So then did they really steal it?
But that's what I'm wondering is like, is this a misunderstanding?
It feels like
it has to be.
Yeah.
This has to be a misunderstanding.
I mean, if you're going to steal a car, right?
Them saying without his consent, 1000% makes me like they have to know each other, right?
Yeah. I would think so.
You have to.
I would think so.
It's just that's, and also like you can't be that dumb if after you steal a car you valet it.
Yeah.
Like you can't be, because don't they? I guess they definitely put obviously your number and everything down in something so they can tell that's the car that came. It just feels like that had to be a misunderstanding.
I would think so. I just.
But that's the thing. It's like two. It looks like misunderstandings, including
I was
family.
just about to say this is a really bad luck kind of week.
Yeah.
For the Nakua family, and now Puka Nakua is sitting out the first drive, which I think also is related to some other things. I saw some reports about him showing up hungover to the meetings or something like that. Yeah. Also linked to his suspension. So I don't know what's going on with the Nakua brothers, but has not been a good week for them.
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm trying to. This has just been such a weird week for the Nakua family.
Yeah, to say the least. Let us know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I see a couple of folks chiming in. I just wanted to draw back here. So a lot of people excited about Draymond Jones. So yeah, he'll be coming on at 6:00. So if you guys are here for Draymond, he will be live with us. At 6 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you guys are tuning in for that. We got lots of stuff we're going to be talking with him about. Go ahead. Are you going to say something, Zach?
No, I was just going to say, yeah, about Cincinnati. And then obviously this upcoming big game against the Pats and how they plan on stopping who I believe is maybe runner up at the moment, Drake May for the MVP. Have you seen this whole Dan Orlovsky and them are pushing Josh Allen into the MVP race again?
Yes.
Saying that he's the, what are we doing? This is another year of why is Josh Allen in this? Like even last year, at least he had an argument like, okay, he's top two. This is a very two-man race.
Well, look, last year it was top two and Lamar Jackson beat him in almost every statistical category by a lot. And he still didn't get the MVP, but then he gets the first team all pro. We can go into that conversation till the cows come home. But like this is a stretch. I don't understand this at all. To me, it's Matt Stafford, it's Drake May, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. And then that's how it should be, because at the moment, you look at everything like Matthew Stafford should be MVP.
Yeah.
What Drake May is doing is absolutely incredible. Like, let's not pretend like Josh Allen. Let me look up his past few games because I believe. Yeah, I mean, November 30th versus Steelers, he had 123 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Only against the Patriots, only 193 yards. He did have 3 touchdowns. Versus the Bengals, he had 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, but a lot of that, like, they were losing that game until the 2 interceptions by Joe Burrow. So it's not like he's had 2 pretty bad outings recently against the Steelers and the Texans. And that just feels like everyone else kind of agreed like this week, like, okay, it's a 2-man race. And then that was the time where everyone was like, the Dan Orlovsky's, I saw someone say propaganda, which is fantastic. They said Josh has all this propaganda yearly, but it did just feel like that kind of got forced into the conversation. Josh Allen's having a good year. He's not the MVP, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be the MVP every year.
Yeah, absolutely. I also was thinking, so we have something else to chat about, and it's the Chicago Bears. What you have a team that has been absolutely dysfunctional up until the hiring of Johnson, and I was actually kind of like happy for Bears fans. And then you know what what they do? They gaslight you to the point of saying, "Hey, we know the team's doing great this year. Let's actually move them out of Chicago, Zach."
Just unbelievable. Breaking earlier today, the Bears are exploring changing their stadium plans, including moving the team and building in Northwest Indiana. President and CEO Kevin Warren wrote in a letter to fans. The franchise has been in Chicago for more than 100 years after moving to the city in 1921. We talked about this a little off air. There are teams that you can move. Yes. Like in that you can do in the general vicinity. I'll put this out there because it is like that at the moment. I know they're supposed to be moving back, but the DC, the Commanders, like they're outside DC because there's not a lot of room in DC. Correct. Like, so people understand that. Okay, they're just outside DC, but they're the Washington DC Commanders. Buffalo, I know they're like not in actual Buffalo, but like that's okay. Like they're up there. Yeah. Everyone's like this would be like taking the Packers out of Green Bay.
Yes.
Like you're like, what are no, like the Chicago Bears
really like moving any of the NFC North teams.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? That makes no sense to me. This is one of those franchises that you can't touch. Like when the Chargers moved from San Diego to LA. All right. Like, okay, I understand why. Like, you can't move the Bears. I get it. It's just to Northwest Indiana, so it's not like they're moving far.
They're moving 50 miles away.
Yeah, that's
enough.
You're like closer to Gary, Indiana, I think, than you are.
You are closer to Gary, Indiana. I'm glad you brought that up because I have something to say about that. But the governor of Indiana actually retweeted this to just add more fuel to the fire, and said Chicago.
If you're them, I would be all over that.
Oh my God! To have 2 NFL teams in your state? You kidding me? The NFL, Governor Mike Braun says the Chicago Bears recognize Indiana's pro-business climate, and I am ready to work with them to build a new stadium in Northwest Indiana. This move would deliver a major economic boost, create jobs, and bring another premier NFL franchise to the Hoosier State. Let's get it done. Literally everybody in Illinois hates that governor. And for me, look, this feels like it's probably just a political ploy. It's a move. It's no different to me than Lamar Jackson requesting a trade way back when. It's a move to get to create movement. I think that this is just something that the Bears are pressuring the Illinois government to move. I don't think that this is actually going to
move.
No,
like the Bears don't want to move, but the big thing is right now you have to push Chicago's hand because it's all coming off of, I guess, something coming out that, Chicago and the state of Illinois was not going to prioritize that stadium in 2026. And they've been fighting for a new stadium forever now, it feels like, and just move. Like, if you're Indiana, like the state of Indiana, I'm like, yeah, bring the Bears here.
Right.
Like, yeah, it might just be over, but now we're getting all that money. People are coming here if they're traveling from out of town.
Yeah.
I will say, I found out 3-4 months ago when I was driving through Indianapolis and Chicago, much closer than I thought. They're only 3.5 hours apart. It's not something. Everything over there is so much closer than I thought.
So Brooks says it's 15 minutes away. It's the same as the Commanders.
But you can't. But that's what we were just saying. Some teams it works for. The Chicago Bears playing Indiana.
Also, the Commanders are in a different conference than the Ravens are. I mean, so are the Colts, but it's not. What do you got? The Gary Bears? Get the hell out of here.
Gary Bears would be electric.
No, Gary Bears? No.
Gary Bears.
I don't think so.
It's principle, Brooks. It's why are we even having this discussion of the Bears not playing their games in Chicago?
Which is what they've been doing for the last 100 years.
Yeah, the Bears shouldn't play in Indiana. That's not. I think that just should be. Everyone in the universe should be in agreement. The Bears should not play in Indiana.
No,
it just doesn't make sense.
This is just typical Bears antics. Really, over the last 30 years.
Oh,
typical Bears antics, where hey, things are going so right. Let's just actually.
Yeah, they finally have a good team on the field.
Yeah.
And they're just like, let's find some more drama to make ourselves look dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Let's threaten to move across state lines to Indiana.
Yeah. Exactly.
God. Don't you love it?
I
Although I feel like this is one of those like news is kind of slowing down for the holidays. So like this gets snuck in there and then this becomes the big headline.
Yeah.
So like you said, I doubt anything ever comes of this. I'm sure they stay.
I'll be absolutely shocked if the Bears stay in
Chicago. But yeah, this is definitely like this has the vibes of a star player requesting a trade, knowing they're just trying to get the contract they're looking for.
That's why I brought up the Lamar trade, because I was like, this is what this feels like.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it does.
So there you have it. Let us know what you guys think about that. What else we got on the docket?
God, it's been such a slow.
I know there hasn't been a whole lot happening.
I know. That's why I think I'm excited for Draymond to come on to just kind of have something for us to go over with this upcoming game and all of that. It has been just like this eerie feeling around the NFL because obviously like Mahomes, all that. I don't know if you saw Travis Kelce talking about Mahomes returning and he's like, yeah, I hope the Chiefs get him back. And everyone's like, why'd you say the Chiefs and not us?
Yeah.
And like, it's just one of those, I feel like we're in that range where like the Puka story becomes big and like we're past a few weeks past, obviously the deadline, about a month and a half past that. So it's like all the new guys are, there's not much to talk about there. We sort of are seeing the playoff picture come together, and then in baseball, unless you love low leverage relievers, there's not a lot of action moving around in baseball. I mean, it is people are getting their sixth, fifth inning guys, but I think, the Phillies signed Brad Keller. That was big for them. But besides that, that's really been the only big move of late.
Every time Jeff Passan makes a tweet, I'm like, this is not a bomb, bro. You just threw a little grenade. This isn't a bomb. Give me something good, man. Yeah. I was like, just give me something good, bro. I will say this. We'll get into more baseball conversation later on, and maybe this should be a poll. But what would you say? The top 3 free agent prospects right now or free agents are Ranger Suarez, then Mike King, and then
Framber.
Yeah, Framber
for pitching. Yeah.
So of those 3, where do we think they all land? And we'll answer that question later on the show. But keep that in mind, guys. I'll put a poll out if you want to, Zach, kind of take over for a moment.
So we are in that. And obviously, I'll talk about this for a second, just keeping it baseball. We are finally seeing, Mark DeRosa told us, actually came on this show and talked about how he was going to try to get pitching for the World Baseball Classic because, hey, that is what they lacked last time around, and I will give it to him. He is doing exactly that. Over the past 2 days, he's gotten Mason Miller, Tarek Skubal, David Bednar, Logan Webb just committed. So, this World Baseball Classic is tuning up to be one of the greatest spectacles we've ever seen in baseball. Everything is going to be so incredible. Just the way that all the rosters are made out and all of that. I don't think I've ever been this excited for an international really tournament in ever, especially the World Baseball Classic. And it just feels like we finally, Joe Ryan committed yesterday, Clay Holmes committed yesterday, Noah McLean committed yesterday. They've just got so much talent.
Yeah.
All around. It seems like every team is letting their stars, except I guess the Reds are like being weird with Ellie De La Cruz.
They are being weird about that.
Yeah, but it just feels
and honestly, and if Tarek Skubal is going to play, just start Ellie.
A year before he's supposed to get the biggest pitching contract.
Exactly.
The fact I just know Scott Boras hates that. He's got to be discussed. I guess though there's reward if he goes out there and has his like Shohei moment like Shohei did in the last one, and he goes and pitches 7 scoreless in the championship game or something. Like maybe that raises you can be like, yeah, this is how he performs in the playoffs. You can maybe use that if you want to win championships.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I just when he signed, I thought that was very interesting. I just really thought that there was I didn't think he was going to be the guy to sign. I didn't think anyone that was kind of going into their final year of being on their contract would push the envelope like that. But let's see. Hopefully he works out. I love the fact that these stars are playing because it feels good. It feels like just a few World Baseball Classics ago. I mean, heck, last World Baseball Classic, Merrill Kelly was the ace for Team USA. So we've come a long way with Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal, adding in Joe Ryan and them. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited for all that.
Merrill Kelly, he just signed with the Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah, he went back there. They pulled a nice little, traded him to the Rangers for 3 prospects, and then he came back. Kind of, I guess, sort of like what the Orioles did with Kittredge, but different because we just bought him back from the Cubs. We're like, hey, we'll take him back. And the Cubs were like, yeah, we don't want him anymore. It's like, all right, we'll take him. You guys gotta shed money.
Yeah. Yeah. So poll is actually out. We'll talk about the poll after Draymond Jones comes on to join the show. But the poll is, if you go to YouTube, got that pulled up there. It's free agent starter most likely to land with the Orioles. Ranger Suarez, Framber Valdez, Mike King, or none of the above.
I like it.
Just like a pick your own adventure. Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, and I think the fun part about this exercise for the first time with Baltimore is usually we do these and you have a feeling.
None of them are realistic.
Yeah, like we have the conversation, but deep down you're like, oh, I don't think this is actually happening. Like I would love for this to happen, but I feel like we're just trying to speak something into existence. There is a realistic chance that not all three come together, but there's a realistic chance that each of them could be on the Orioles, and that's pretty cool. So I like this exercise.
Yeah, I like it too. So one other question that I had for you that's football related. There's been a lot of weird stuff coming out of the Bengals organization as well, namely with Joe Burrow. Yeah. Have you seen some of the comments that he's made?
Yeah.
Want to add context for the audience there?
Yeah. So pretty much, I think this is one of those kind of like I was talking about, like there's not enough storylines and people are grasping. Pretty much Joe Burrow last week made some comments about, just the poor play. And pretty much like, hey, when he's not having fun with football, that's when he'll hang him up. All of that, people jump to conclusions about, is he saying he's going to retire soon? Is this and that? They kind of rumors started. Joe then came back and made some more comments this week, pretty much saying like, hey, like I expect to be back with the Bengals next year. And then reporter asked, do you ever think about playing elsewhere in your career? And he said, you think about a lot of things. I'm going to be honest. To me, this is a nothing burger. This is a classic. Joe Burrow. I know people. Yeah, that's just kind of what I feel like. Joe Burrow is a very not a big mouth, always rah guy.
Yeah.
He's just kind of is like, hey, like, do you think about this? He's like, well, yeah, you think about a lot of things. Like, I don't see
it's like a Bill Belichick type of answer.
Yeah. Like, it's just, I'm not giving anyone anything. If it were me, if I were a betting man, I cannot see Joe Burrow playing anywhere else outside of Cincinnati for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And I think the only way that it would happen it would have to be Cincinnati's like, okay, we're blowing this up. But as long as you have Joe Burrow, like you have a chance to be competitive. They just have to get more defense and, focus on that side of the ball. For me, this is a nothing burger. It's just kind of, we're at that point of the NFL year. The Bengals, like their big talking points up there for Cincinnati and their, beat writers and all the news over there was like, if the Bengals win out, they could make the playoffs. So that was what all the news was. Then they got eliminated. It was like, what do we write about the final few weeks? It's like, Joe, are you happy here? And I feel like that became the new talking point. For me, the biggest one is they had this like secret extension happen for Zach Taylor like 2 years ago that just came out because everyone was like, okay, his contract's up in 2026. You can move on from him now and not eat that much. But now it's his contract's up in 2027. And fans are like, when did this happen? And they're like, oh, it was kind of like the Mike Elias promotion where it was like, oh, that was a while ago. We didn't feel like we should have told anyone. Like, why did people want to know about that? Like, it just got lost. Like, we forgot to tell people about it.
Oh yeah, we don't have a GM.
Yeah, exactly. And it just felt like one of those situations. I think that's the bigger thing of like, I think they got to get Zach Taylor as far out of Cincinnati as possible. I think he has run his course. That Super Bowl run is really, I know people talk about John Harbaugh and stuff. I think that Super Bowl run is really keeping him in Cincinnati.
I mean, yeah, like, look, people can criticize John Harbaugh all they want, and Mike Tomlin for that matter. And we're just sticking with the AFC North. Neither one of those coaches have gone 3 seasons in a row without making the playoffs. So, I mean, Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in a while, but he's at least in the dance, which is more than what Zach Taylor can say. So I think I'm with you. I don't think Zach Taylor's. I think he's worn out his welcome there. The Super Bowl was a while ago now, so I don't think that there's much left on that in that regard. I was just pulling up one other thing that we could chat about, and this is Phillip Rivers. It's not like a huge headliner, but I don't know if anybody has seen this, but Phillip Rivers actually signed a 1-year contract that was prorated for from the last game through the next 4 games. It was a $1.2 million contract extension, or not extension, contract. And he's going to get the prorated minimum of $278,000 for 4 regular season games with the Colts. Rivers also restores his league provided health insurance that would have expired 5 years after his last game, resetting it for 5 more years. Does this also reset his 5-year window for the Hall of Fame?
Yes,
as well.
That was the big thing. He was a semifinalist this year.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he was a semifinalist, and they have to take him off the ballot now. Like he was getting voted in this year.
Right.
I don't know if he would be voted in, but he was getting voted on.
Yeah.
Starting this year, and that restarts that. And I saw someone doing the math because Rivers has 10 kids.
Yes.
And now all of them are covered on the NFL health insurance thing. They were talking about he's saving $3,000 a month.
That's insane.
On that. It actually, contract aside, him just getting back on that health insurance for 5 more years was a massive incentive.
All them children. So isn't his oldest son is also, I don't know, something about his oldest son is a year older than his his youngest son is a year older than one of his grandsons. Is that right? That's wild.
Yeah, because his oldest son is Gunnar Rivers, who is the 4-star quarterback.
Yeah,
because that guy's he's got to make it with a name like that. Yes. And then his oldest daughter is 23, and she's the one who just had his firstborn grandchild.
And how old's his youngest child? I'm pretty sure that they're only a year apart.
Yeah, he was his 10th child was born October 30th, 2023. I will say it's 10.
That's bananas.
10 of them, and 7 are girls. He has 7 daughters.
Woo! Doing the Lord's work.
Crazy.
I'm the old stick. I thought that was a lot, and it is a lot. But 10?
No wonder he has to keep coming back. He's no wonder he played till he was 40. He was
I need to get out of this house.
And he's like, I gotta
go,
family.
Man.
It's we're spending $1 million on food a year. And then the one is trying to make it pro. So he's just eating nothing but protein. So it's just so much is going on there.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. There are always those like fun little things that happen every NFL season. I feel like just a lot's been going on. Like just so many random things. Like we have Phillip Rivers back in the league, and then obviously Bill Belichick is coaching college team with his girlfriend kind of running everything, who's like also like 24.
Yes.
Just what a I did not see. Did you see Tom Brady? They asked him about if he could come back right now, and they're like, "Hey, if you came back right now, do you think you could still?" And he was like, "Oh, I'd whoop ass." He said, he was like, "Oh, I've kept my body," and he goes, "The only reason I don't is I don't want to commit to a season." Yeah. He was like, "If a team like." He said that.
Oh, if the Colts asked him, I'm sure he probably would. I'm sure he'd at least think about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. I know he said that when he was retired the second time, he said a team he didn't want to name them reached out, and it was intriguing, but he still said no. And I think everyone kind of figured out it was the 49ers after Brock Purdy went down.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's one of those things where I do believe Brady. I think if Brady came back, he's one of those. Like you can tell, Phillip Rivers was enjoying retirement. Like,
you've seen some of the stuff what Brady does on social media.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was on Mr. Beast videos and everything else, like throwing dots.
Yeah,
still,
it's still Tom Brady.
Yeah, yeah.
I think like legitimately, I saw someone say he should sign with the Chiefs next year, and everyone was like, "Okay, stop."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
but. It would be so intriguing if a team picked up Tom Brady. Like if Tom Brady took over the Colts, there would be a different vibe.
I'm not gonna lie. Tom Brady going to the Chiefs with that wide receiver core. I don't know if Tom Brady's had a wide. Well, I'll take that back. The Mike Evans, Chris Godwin wide receiver core.
Yeah,
with Antonio Brown, but with Shee Rice,
Xavier Worthy,
and Hollywood Brown. And I mean, we'll see what Travis Kelce does, but like having a Travis Kelce as a tight end too, like, I don't know, man. That could be something.
I would have loved to see him with the Colts this year, just because that run game, and then he could just throw it to, Pittman or Warren. I just think it's one of those.
This is a very good point. VT Raven says, "Can you own the Raiders and play for the Chiefs?"
So that's what now I think it would have been a much bigger conflict of interest.
Well, yeah.
The NFL already flipped out when he was sitting in the coach's booth.
I know
already. So I don't think I think this is a very hypothetical at the moment.
100% hypothetical.
Now that he is an owner, you can't.
No.
I think he would literally, the only team he could would be the Raiders. Like that is your only option. But if he would have returned to the Colts, I think that I don't want to put them as favorites or anything, but I would be definitely, if people ask me this wide open of an AFC, I would probably give the Colts the nod just because I'm like, it's playoff Brady. I don't care if he's how old he is now.
Yeah. Well, and it's playoff Brady.
And 48 years old. I think he could still do it.
Is he 48 now?
Yeah.
God damn. Playoff Brady, it's not is different than like the playoff Brady Patriots.
Yeah.
Like I had a whole different vibe. I was less like irritated that Tom Brady was in the Super Bowl with the Bucs than when he was with the Patriots. I don't even know how to explain why that is. But I was just
I think it's because of NFC. And it's because for me, it was so big of like once he was, I could finally like semi root for Brady.
I'm starting to feel like my hatred was more towards Belichick than it was Brady at this point.
Yeah. I also just think people got pissed off because obviously Brady got so many calls and everything.
Well, yes, the tuck rule and everything else.
Yeah. Like it just.
The knee rule.
Yeah. Like it's just, I think, and then as a Ravens fan, like, let's be honest, like he got away with a lot. Like he beat us in some crazy fashion. And you're like, you felt like you got screwed over in a lot of ways. And it was always getting past Brady. Okay. How do you get over the hump against New England? Stuff like that. So then now you're sitting there and I can root for him and it doesn't impact us at all. Like it was fun. Like I was like, oh, Tom Brady's beating up on the Panthers. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't impact me now. Oh, he's taking over the NFC. Good for him.
Right.
Like I didn't have to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was also thinking like if he, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was going back to the whole Chiefs conversation. If he played for the Chiefs, that would be insane. A 48-year-old Tom Brady.
I think he could. Gosh, especially with I'm sure the schedule, because they'll get.
If the Raiders have better personnel, I could see him play for.
Yeah, because the Chiefs next year are going to have a third place schedule. That's the other scary thing is they're going to be playing. Although at this point, third place they'll be playing the Bengals, who I assume I say it every year, but I do assume the Bengals are going to be better next year. I think it would be very different. I think that their season would be very different if they didn't go 1-7 without Burrow for those 8 games.
The Bengals need to do an entire rebuild of their team.
I think they just need to uproot the defense.
The offensive line's not good either.
No, offensive line isn't, but I think
defense for sure. But they have to do a pretty big overhaul.
Yeah. I think it starts with the head coach. I think it honestly starts with the GM, but they've already said they're keeping Duke Tobin, which I think is a very big mistake.
Well, we talked Monday about how that organization just sucks. They can't even clean the snow off their seats.
Yeah,
for the fans.
It just feels like they're one of those, and that's where it sucks because Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, talking about superstars, and obviously they had their run to the Super Bowl and then AFC Championship back-to-back years. But you feel like ever since then, you look at and you're like, how is this team not winning 13 games a year with these guys at the very minimum? And it's just been that defense. I mean, last year it was so hard to watch. They would score 40 and they'd lose because they gave up 44. And that, I mean, both games to the Ravens, that offense lit the Ravens up for 60 minutes. And in the first game for 65.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't, that defense couldn't stop a cold. So if they get any sort of defense, they'll have a third place schedule again. I just feel I think next year's a big bounce back for the AFC North in general.
I do too.
But I also feel like that's easy to say because it was so bad this year. There's literally nowhere to go but up.
Oh, I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, you have the years of the NFC least. The NFC East was just all they did was lose. The NFC South also loses a lot. The NFC South has just been abysmal. I wouldn't say that this division is worse than that.
But I just feel
so I would just be careful.
Division.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just feel like
it could get worse. Is all I'm saying.
But I'm thinking the Browns get number 1 pick. They get Mendoza. The Burrow, if he's healthy, I'm not counting. The Steelers are going to finish 8-9, 9-8, no matter what. So I guess 9-8 because they got to be right over 500.
You know what I think? I think the Giants. Are the Giants getting the first? No,
I think at the moment
the Giants should trade Jackson Dart and get Mendoza.
Yeah, I don't think there's no way. There's no.
Just hear me out here. They trade Jackson Dart, get Mendoza. Then they have basically you're going to get a first round draft pick with that. So then you get 2 first rounders.
But that's the thing.
You get Mendoza.
Get you a first rounder.
You don't think so? He's a starter in this league.
Oh, I
put
agree
him on any
1,000%. I think if you're giving up on him, I'm trying to think of what quarterback.
I'm not saying you give up on him. I'm just saying you use. I mean,
I think if they get the first overall pick, I think you get more. If they're bought into Dart, you can get a lot more for trading out of pick 1. And it's you can get Fernando Mendoza. Who wants to have the number 1 pick? And I think then you can trade with I
think Mendoza has a lot more upside than Jackson Dart does.
I agree. I just think
only because Jackson Dart can't figure out how to
if Jackson Dart didn't
try to kill himself every
play pinball with his head every time.
That's what I'm saying.
He just incredible talent. But I think he's been to the Blue Medical tent. It's 5 of the last 9 games. He's
trade him to the Browns because that's where he belongs.
The Browns taking Pavia would be the most Browns thing ever. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the storylines that would happen with Diego Pavia and Shadur Sanders in the same locker room.
Oh my God.
Because Shadur would say his backhanded, hidden meaning stuff. And then Diego Pavia would just straight up be like, I'm the best quarterback in this room. And it's not even close. And then it's oh my gosh. That's the voters, which is just the craziest thing. for him to post when 168 of them voted him first.
Yeah.
And it's like the other 600 didn't, but
Right.
there was a good 20% or 15% chunk that did. Like, F the voters. He's just.
Oh, my God. Hey, guess what? You know what? Santa Claus is coming to town. Did you hear?
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Santa's coming to town. It's December 18th. He's going to be here in 7 days.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of bananas.
It is. It's.
But Santa's also on the fat side. And we have just a solution for Santa. Shout out to Merit Club. Merit Club supports the show. The sponsor. If you guys are in the same shape as Santa and are looking to get yourself back into shape come the new year, I mean, everybody loves to make that resolution, but maybe you want it to stick this time. Our folks, our friends over at Merit Clubs can help you with that. So shout out to Merit Clubs. Go check them out at meritclubs.com and get yourself signed up, get yourself in shape. Don't look like Santa going into the new year. Zach, we do have, by the way, Draymond Jones coming up in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you're tuned in for that as we talked to Draymond about last week, just kind of the season, how the defense has turned it around as a whole. And then, going into this week in a pretty must win against the New England Patriots at home. It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
I am having that dilemma, though, where Drake May has been my starting quarterback for fantasy in 3 of my leagues, and I'm in the playoffs in all 3.
Yeah.
And I have to start him. Yeah. He's gotten me.
I never draft the Steelers defense for that reason.
I will never.
I'm never drafting the Steelers defense.
I also hate drafting Steelers star players. I was whenever Antonio Brown was the guy, it was hard. Le'Veon Bell, it was hard for me because I'm I don't want to root for them.
Yeah.
I just can't bring myself to root for them. And I know, hey, for the greater good and all the fantasy stuff, I understand it's all about AFC North football.
Who was it? Was it Devontae Williams that came in after Le'Veon Bell went down that one year? I picked him up as a free agent, and he won me my championship. Yeah. That was the only time where I was sure. I never had an opportunity to draft Antonio Brown, but if I did, I still would have. Because yes, there's just certain players that you can't say no to, but I'm never drafting Steelers defense.
I'm trying to think. Right now, obviously, there's just no Steeler player that I would ever draft. I couldn't get even DK, as good as I think he is. It's not worth it. Yeah. Also, let's be honest, the Steelers are just not good offensively. Their best, I think, fantasy player is Kenneth Gainwell, just because they throw checkdowns to him.
Gainwell is so good.
He gets so many points, and it's annoying because I have Jaylen Warren in a lot of leagues, and it.
They just need to start Gainwell, and
that's what I'm saying. And I have Warren, so I have interest in them not doing that. But if for their sake, they need to get Gainwell the ball.
Yes, agreed. That guy is an angry runner.
He's extremely. And he's only 26, which is always catches me off guard. He is a guy that they need to extend. It's going to be the Steelers off season is going to be extremely.
It should be active.
Yeah, because they have to figure out the Rodgers thing. Do they bring Rodgers back?
No, I don't. Aaron Rodgers hangs it up.
The next quarterback.
I think he hangs it up this year. It's Tua.
They just benched. It's got to be Tua or Kyler Murray. The Steelers will never draft a quarterback because they already tried that with Kenny Pickett.
They drafted a terrible. That was if you're going to draft a quarterback,
I agree. I just think that they.
Well, the problem with the Steelers too is that they're never going to be drafting high enough to draft a good quarterback.
Exactly,
and that's the problem.
I also think that they need to just put their pride to the side for a moment and actually rebuild instead of this. What they've done for the past 4 years, which is 3 years of.
Well, since 2017, they've just been mediocre.
Well, I'm talking about obviously they tried the Kenny Pickett experience and all that, but I'm just saying the past 3 years they're just we're just going to pick up a random veteran off the street and hope that he can just do something.
Right.
And it's we have no plan, no nothing. We are just hoping that whether it's Russell Wilson, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, so I say Kyler Murray or Tua.
Not having a franchise quarterback is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird
and they refuse because I think of the time frame with TJ Watt and kind of their Cam Hayward and their kind of aging defense. Now you add Jalen Ramsey and stuff to that.
Yep.
I think they feel pressure to like go all in, but there's a reason that Aaron Rodgers is still sitting out there in like April. There's a reason that these guys that they're signing aren't being franchise tagged and stuff like that. Now, if they traded for a guy, that'd be different because you're trying to give up value. I just think they need to rebuild. They are in that horrible spot. Like you said, they keep finishing 9-8. And like when you're picking 20th to 23rd every year, like you can find talent, but there's not usually your star quarterback at that.
Right. Exactly. All right. We got Draymond Jones coming up in just a few minutes. But before we do this, listen, I got a bone to pick with you.
What we got?
And then also you, the audience. How come nobody told me on Monday that my audio was all fucked?
Oh, yeah. No, that was, I blame me being virtual and using my computer. I just was like, man, my speaker really bad.
The entire time. So, yes, on Monday, I literally thought that my audio. So, for those of you at home that don't know, when I hear the audio here in my ears, it's coming straight from the device that we use. So, I can't always tell what you're hearing because it's goes through a different medium. We'll just call it that. So the only people that could tell me that the audio is screwed up is for those of you who are listening or Zach.
Yeah. And I was just thinking it was my bad speaker
on my
computer.
So what was happening was instead of the audio coming through this device that we use, it was coming through my computer and I was using my computer microphone. So we all know how crappy this is. I was literally coughing, covering up this mic for no reason. Y'all could still hear me coughing. I was trying to be nice and that.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah. Go back and watch that tape.
Oh, gosh. Don't you just love technology? It's just so.
That's not a good excuse, Laura. Even if you thought that I knew, you got to tell me. Somebody's got to tell me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was just listening through my speakers on my computer, and I was like, "Man, these are really." Like I was like, "I don't know if I need to clean these or something." Not.
Nope. It was just my own technical difficulties. Part for the course for me, but
I feel like technology has just been.
That's what happened at the winter meetings when we couldn't figure out the audio situation.
Yeah, it was all coming through.
All coming through here. So like it was loud as hell. And it's all coming through the computer microphone. And it wasn't coming through these microphones. And then I had to do some finagling around. But the exact same thing happened to me on Monday. And yeah, just talking through my computer.
It wouldn't be the Ryan Ripken show if we didn't at least once like a week have something happen where we're like, how did we not see that?
I mean, that was a pretty obvious one.
Yeah. I think if I was obviously in studio with the stuff in, I think I would have been like, something's off. But I think I was just like, I was like, dang, my speakers on this computer are so bad. I was like, man, I did not realize how poor these have gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I'm in the same boat of every time my phone buzzes for Twitter, I'm like, passing bomb. And then it's never a passing bomb.
It's just some bullshit notification.
Yeah, it's like
some guy I've never heard of signs with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it's definitely has not been the biggest names. And then right now it feels like teams are just doing housekeeping. They're like, okay, let's get a random, let's get our fifth inning guy here. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it's all, I mean, hey, it matters. But when I'm sitting here trying to think about what star pitcher the Orioles are going to get, and then I turn my phone to see the Angels are trying to get Jordan Romano to have a bounce back season for $1 million or $2 million over 1 year. I'm like, okay, this could have just been in an article in a story. It's like, I want the stars. I need a passing bomb. I feel like a big market team. Like I'm starting to itch. I'm like a Yankee fan where I'm like, why are we not signing all the stars?
BT Ravens just passing has to be sitting back laughing, knowing everyone else is on edge for real news. Listen, we've seen Passan. We've talked to Passan at winter meetings before. That's exactly what he's doing. Yeah. No doubt in my mind. He's been on this show. No doubt in my mind that
he talked about it on the show where he was like, yeah, I I know when I'm about to tweet something of like, oh, people are gonna people are gonna love this one.
Oh yeah.
Or he's like, I know this is gonna make people mad because everyone wants me to tweet one thing, and then he's tweeting something about like yesterday he tweeted about someone re-signing with the Doosan Bears in Japan, and he immediately commented underneath his own tweet and was like, there will be no Doosan Bears like hate in my mentions or something allowed. And it's just like he knows.
Yeah,
like, of course he knows. He knows that people are staying up and have his notifications on religiously right now. I mean, especially during the winter meetings and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and there's not one part of me that would want that job either.
So, like,
I've heard like horror stories of like Adam Schefter taking his phone in the shower and shit. Like, no way.
You cannot
no way.
be away from anything. I mean, I think they were talking about, and by that I mean this is more football. I think it was Tom Pelissero was on something talking about it, and he was just kind of like, yeah, there are times where like, oh, I'm out golfing with my friends, and like they're like, hey, and it's like, hey, I'm skipping this hole because I have to talk back and forth with the source.
Right.
Or he was like, yeah, one time like I played a hole, and was like, I'm just leaving my phone in the cart. He's like, and I come out and I'm like, and something happened I was supposed to tweet about. 4 other people beat me to the punch now, and now I'm just tweeting so-and-so is signing with this team.
Yeah.
So-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so were on it first. Which I love that when they tweet something, they're like, so-and-so is on it first. It's like a head nod of like, you got me there.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah. We talked with like some other news guys that are insiders, John Morosi's and Mark Feinstein and stuff like that, where like, I couldn't live my life like that. I love to react to stuff. That's fine. But I can't be
love
attached to my phone like that. It's just no chance in hell.
Yeah. I love the rush of seeing it and then going live to react to it. But I could not be the person who's sitting there with sources and it's like, okay, tweet it now or whatever. Like that just seems like it's so much going on.
I can't imagine you make a lot of friends doing that either. How many times has Adam Schefter tweeted and some other athlete has been like, no, bro.
Yeah, that's also just so much. And I think we've talked to him before, like you do all of that, stress for all that, and then you're like, what, 30 seconds ahead of everyone else at that? Like you tweet it out and then every other insider just tweets out that you've got, it's like, it's a thankless job.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, that's 24/7. That's a lot.
Yeah. Got Draymond Jones coming up on the show. If you guys are watching live, hit that like and subscribe button. Certainly would appreciate that. I'm looking to see. It looks like he might have popped in. I'm not quite sure if he's ready yet or not, so we'll give him a little bit. But super excited and pumped to have him back on the show. This is one thing that we always have friends of the show, but you're not really a friend of the show until you come back on the second time.
Yeah,
you come on once, it's just kind of an acquaintance. Like we'll see you down the hall and say what's up.
Yeah, exactly. That's friend of the show, friend of the program.
That's right. But now he's coming on for a second time. And so that makes him a friend. That makes him my friend, your friend, and our friend.
I'm excited. I love meaningful football.
Yeah, man.
College football right now.
It's like every game now, like not that they don't all have some sort of meaning, but like when you get down the last 4 games of the season,
I also have finally, like, even up until like, admittedly, like 3 weeks ago, like stuff would be going on, whether it's college football or the NFL. And I would be like, oh, team's got to figure it out if they want to get it together this season. And I'm like, oh, the season's about like, we are in the home stretch. Like, I still feel like season just started. I have not computed yet that we are very much have been in the home stretch.
Yeah.
I'll be like, see something. I'm like, man, they're going to have to figure out a quarterback situation this year. And I'm like, we're 13 games into the season. Like, we are past that.
All right, Dre, give us a thumbs up if you're good to go. Perfect. He's ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got Draymond Jones back on the show. Last time we had him on, he was a brand new Raven. And since then, a lot has changed and all for the better. So we are super pumped to have him back on. Dre.
What's going on?
Good, brother. Hold on, there he is. How's it going, man?
Doing good. Staying busy.
Yeah, I see that. So
How you doing?
we're doing great, man. Ryan's actually out on his honeymoon, so you missed him this time around. But I made sure that he kept the bright yellow shirt at home.
I missed it already. I want to see it.
So listen, man. Last time we had you on the show, as I just mentioned, you were a brand new Raven, and since then, the defense has gotten real good. And I was telling Zach before you came on that it just doesn't feel like a coincidence to me that Draymond Jones shows up, and all of a sudden, defense makes a real quick U-turn, and all of a sudden they're in top 10 in yards allowed, points allowed, and all kinds of other good stuff. So I know that you've been here for just a short period, but it seems like a lot's changed. Then I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts and your perspective on the team so far this season, and now you're playing some real meaningful football.
Yeah, I mean, the team has been great so far. Great is an understatement about how things have been going. I feel like I've been a pretty decent part of what's going on and our success on the defensive side. I'm just trying to, you know, work my butt off so I can earn their trust and they can earn mine. We just got each other.
Uh-oh, I think we lost him.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Oh, you're back. Yep, gotcha.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay. I'm sorry. What did you hear? I'm sorry.
You kind of broke up right in the beginning, so you can go ahead and just restart.
Okay, I was saying it's been great overall, and I'm just I feel like I've just been a good part of what's going on in our success. And I told him early on I just want to come here and earn everybody's trust, and I think I'm doing a good job at it so far.
Listen, man, I think so too. And Zach and I were just talking when we watched last week's game. And look, there's a certain vibe that you have when you play as a Raven, and you were quintessential, like play like a Raven last week in Cincinnati. We saw a little bit of trash talking with Joe and the crying gestures, all of it, man, was just like it felt like, hey, listen, Draymond has arrived for sure. Can you speak a little bit? I know that you and Joe have a little bit of a relationship. You speak a little bit about kind of some of the jawing that was going on last week.
Hello?
Are you there?
Oh, we'll lose him.
Oh, maybe we'll have him back. All right.
Yeah, I think he just left to come back.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have him come back. I think there's some audio issues on Draymond's side. Go ahead, Jack.
I will say, I feel like we've had a lot of, including Nick Moore, signal issues.
I know. It's been a thing for sure. All right. Looks like he might be back now. Dre, can you hear me?
That's annoying. Can you hear me now?
Well, we can hear him.
All right.
Oh, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, cool. Now I missed everything you said.
That's okay, man. It's all good. No, we were just talking about last week's game. It's like, there's always this persona when it comes to like playing like a Raven, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I felt like that really came out from you last week when you were playing the Bengals, and some of the jawing that was going on between you and Joe Burrow. And I know that you guys have a relationship like towards the end of the game, talking about how you're whooping his ass and like the crying gestures and stuff. Just felt like it was definitely like the definition of play like a Raven, and a lot of fans were pumped about that. So just kind of wanted you to speak a little bit on what went down during that play specifically.
Sure, on that play, Joe was rolling out to my left, his right, and then I tried to. At first, I was like trying to engage what he was gonna do, so I wasn't like running. And then I saw he was trying to throw it, and I tried to like pull up full speed, but he threw it. And I knew it was kind of close, so I was kind of like trying to turn my body so I wouldn't like really hit him. And then his teammates came over and started saying, so the O-line started saying, "Don't do that to my quarterback," yada, 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 yada. I was just talking a bunch of nonsense. And I just basically told his ass, just go cry about it to somebody else.
I loved it, man. It was awesome. Just made me laugh, especially like just seeing it from the the TV. It was some good stuff. I couldn't wait to talk to you about that. I know that Zach has some questions too. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, Dre, as you know, obviously last week, big win against Cincinnati, a shutout. It's always fun to get those, but a big week now and a big test against the Patriots. Drake May playing like an MVP caliber quarterback. How do you guys, with the momentum you're getting, what has kind of been the talk in the locker room, especially defensively, on taking on a Patriots team that has won 11 or 10 of their last 11 and is kind of in the driver's seat to get one of the top 2 seeds in the AFC and kind of taking them on in this big situation?
We know the seriousness of this team. They've been hot all year. They have a young quarterback who's thriving. So we respect them in that aspect. They know how to win football games, they know how to put things together and go out there and succeed. So we got to do our part and make sure we contain Drake May because he's dangerous with his legs just as much as he is with his arm. We know the long ball is something he's been relying on this year, and he's been good at it too. Especially when I watch against the Saints, who run like a similar defense as us. So we got to be on our P's and Q's. We all have to play our part, and that trust aspect is going to be huge this weekend, and relying on each other because we start to get out of body because this is a night game, and you're trying to make a big play on the big stage. We're not gonna go out there and win games. So we just got to stay disciplined together as a unit, and I think we will.
Actually, just kind of what you just talked about. How is your mindset, or is it different in a night game, a primetime game compared to a 1 o'clock on a Sunday? I mean, all eyes on you, obviously. You get all the theatrics going on pregame and all of that. Do you have to kind of bring yourself back down, or do you try to let that, enthusiasm and all that adrenaline take over as you go out there?
Kind of just letting it take over as you go out there. I mean, I'd be lying if I said the magnitude of this game wasn't on my chest because I haven't played in like a serious like type of game where like every game is super important, super like especially late in December. By this time of December, my whole career I've been like planning my vacation. Like it was like, all right, well, we got to go out there and just play for each other and play for the name of back. But this year is finally not that instant, so I'm treating this as a playoff game. This is the closest thing to a playoff game for me personally that I feel. So you got to just stay focused and just treat it like every other game. And I'm sure the other guys are going to do the same because they've been here before. Just speaking for myself, I got to go in there with a different mentality of just trying to be aggressive, just trying to keep my composure and doing things within the defense too. But, letting out that aggression when it's time to.
Yeah, I love that. And then real fast, I did want to ask you, obviously, on the D line and, the edge group, a guy like Mike Green, being a rookie, coming up from a lower level competition at Marshall, and then it really throughout this season, it feels like he has stepped up and improved just leaps and bounds. What have you seen from not only just him, but the group in general, and how it feels like from, obviously you weren't here week 1, but even since you've gotten here, it feels like each week they're just getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah. Well, and Mike in particular, we supported him since I've been here. And we're always in his ear trying to help because Mike's so young and so talented. I mean, in my opinion, he's probably the best rookie in this class. So, and he has the most talent. He has the highest ceiling in his entire class, more than Travis Hunter, more than all the boys. So Mike Green's special. And I think the moment Mike Green puts it all together, I think his cop is like Nick Bonito. I think he can be that, if not better, because Mike is aggressive in the run game, and he can rush that passer more than just being bendy. He can be a power rusher. He can be a speed rusher. He has so many different like facets of his game. I can see Mike getting better and better each and every year, and as he gets better in his league. And as a team, since I've been here, we've just grown. And I know I can't speak too much on it because I wasn't here in the beginning, but from the time I got here until now, this team has been just gelling super well, and we're communicating on all facets, and we just got to keep it up.
Couldn't be gelling at a better time, that's for sure. And Zach also couldn't give up another opportunity to talk about somebody from Marshall. So, him being a Marshall guy himself. But no, listen, man, 2 more questions and I'll get you out of here. Really appreciate your time. The one thing I did want to ask, again, just going back to last week, was Ed Reed also came to the facility. We've talked with Ed quite a bit. We hung out with him down Super Bowl for a little while. Zach celebrated an incredible birthday with Ed Reed, by the way. We'll get into that story later. So another story for another time. But lots of some of the guys on defense talking about like how it meant a lot for him to speak to you guys, and there was some good conversations there. Did you get a chance to talk with him, or do you have any sort of perspective on like what he was there and how he might have impacted you guys a little bit?
I mean, outside of just saying my name and shaking his hand, I didn't really talk to him that much. I didn't have the time. He's a DB at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
But when he first came in, they said, "Oh, yo, Ed Reed's here." Everybody's like kind of casual about it. And I was like, "What the?" Like, Ed Reed's here? Like, hold on, like this. We got a legend in the building. Let me tighten up a little bit. And when he was talking, I mean, I was glued in and locked in. I don't think I missed a word. I watched every word come out of his mouth because I was so, invested in what he had to say. Because he's one of the best players to ever do it. He's one of the best Ravens to ever be out there. So it was a cool experience. I definitely took heed to what he said, and it probably helped us this Sunday having him come in there. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of so. I think Marlon was talking about that a little bit about how it was just a different vibe, when he comes in. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that too. But last question I have, and it's about our dear friend Nick Moore. I just a hypothetical question. If you were getting a phone call, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning, like Hammer called, just call after call, would you be worried about your boy that was calling you that many times, or would you?
It
Yeah,
depends.
I guess that would be the question. How worried would you be if your boy was calling you a bunch of times in the middle of the night?
It depends on the number. So sometimes my what's crazy? Like that's not off par for one of my boys to call me. But 9 times out of 10 it's probably some BS. To be honest, it's probably some BS. But I wouldn't be too worried unless
that's exactly
if he texts me like this is urgent or exclamation point, then I'll get worried. If you call him, he probably just calling me about some BS.
So yeah. So I'm one of those guys where like if I'm getting a phone call from somebody I don't normally get a phone call from in the middle of the night, I'm worried about it. Like
yeah.
Maybe you're dying in a ditch somewhere, and like I'm gonna be worried. Nick calls me at 1:30 in the morning, then calls Zach at 1:30 in the morning, FaceTimes Rip 4 times in a row, all because him and Linderbaum are out down around the studio here and want to know where they can get a pizza.
What I tell you, it sounds like some BS.
It is some BS, bro.
If it's the homies calling at 1 or any other time around that time, it's some BS 9 times out of 10.
Well, let it be known that if Nick Moore's calling you in the middle of the night, just don't pick up. I'm just doing you a solid.
Tell Nick I'll pick it. You know what I'm saying? I'll answer if it was me. I'm a real one.
All right, man. Well, listen, hey, appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend. I know you guys will do well, and it was great talking to you again. I was telling Zach, second time on the show. Now you're officially a friend of the show.
Are we friends now?
Yes,
we're friends.
We're friends.
I need a t-shirt or something, bro. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, we'll get you hooked up for sure.
Right, appreciate it.
You might actually be a better friend than Nick Moore at this point.
Yeah, at this point.
Thank you. I try. I actively try to be a good friend. So
all right, appreciate you, Draymond Jones. Everybody, thanks for coming on, man.
Peace. Appreciate you.
All right,
Draymond Jones.
Oh, there we go. Listen,
love that.
I hope he takes that back to Nick Moore and be like, "Listen, bro."
I think my favorite part of that was, yeah, they said Ed Reed's there, and everyone's just being casual about it. I'm like, Ed Reed's here? Because I feel like that, and I do feel like that's wherever you go. Obviously, he's only been in Baltimore for a few weeks, and obviously Ed probably once a year is usually around. You see at some point it's like, hey, Ed joined, for a practice, or he spoke to the team, something. But for these new guys who actually just love football.
Yeah.
Like it's Ed Reed.
Yeah.
Like that. It's one of the, like he said, it's one of the greatest to ever play. Definitely we there's high praise. And then there's him talking about Mike Green.
Yeah.
Best in the club, better than Travis Hunter, all of that. High praise.
Mike Green was supposed to be a first rounder.
Yeah. Obviously there's off the field issues that had him drop, but the talent, I mean, people, it's coming together, and
Yeah.
you see him impacting the game more and more. And I
Yep.
like how he plays.
Got
Like,
a sack last week, right?
yeah, and you get to that point where once it's all together, I think he's going to be a big time player. I will also say, I know it's already out there a lot, but I think I can speak for the show where we approve of re-sign Draymond Jones to the Baltimore Ravens.
100%.
He plays like a Raven.
He sure does. He sure does. I was, when I saw him like just boohooing, that was the best. That really was awesome. So yeah, guys, like and subscribe if you like the interview we had with Draymond Jones. I know Rip is probably FOMOing right now.
1,000%.
I haven't gotten
when we brought up the T-shirt.
What, the yellow T-shirt?
Yeah, you know.
When he said we should put it on a T-shirt, I should have said, that we'll make sure that it's not yellow for you. There's a missed opportunity there.
But you know what? I think I feel pretty good saying I think we'll get Draymond will be back on the show at some point.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. All right. So now we got through some football. Let's get into some baseball conversation. Really appreciate Draymond Jones coming on. But listen, bro, we talked the beginning of the show about free agent starters most likely to land with the Orioles. I put a poll out there, and it's actually really split. I'm a little surprised by this because I thought there was going to be a really heavy lean into like a Ranger Suarez, which he is leading the poll here right now. 60 votes have come in, and Ranger Suarez does have the lead, but by a very thin margin. So 35% of the vote here on our poll today has Ranger Suarez as being the most likely starter to land in Baltimore. But then Framber Valdez is 28%. Mike King is also 28%. There's been a lot of rumors swirling around about him potentially being here in Baltimore. And then 8% of the vote here says that none of these guys are going to land in Baltimore.
If I had, it's funny because my most likely, if you would have asked me a week ago, is different than now. A week ago, I mean, heck, I even put the stamp on. I thought Ranger Suarez was going to sign with the Orioles at the winter meetings. I thought that was something that was going to get done. Now you look at it, and maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid of just recent reports. Maybe I'm having recency bias. I just feel like Michael King's an Oriole.
Yeah.
And it also just feels like that vibe of he gets 4 years here. It's probably not as expensive as the others. You're probably more in that 4 years, $110 million range.
Well, especially because like if the Ranger Suarez rumors are true that he's asking for 7 years,
and I think
most likely not coming to Baltimore.
Exactly. I don't think that. And I also think, I'm looking at different. I think I could see the Orioles signing Michael King, and then I still think they do one of both. It just feels like they do one of both.
Yeah.
It just feels like they sign a guy and trade for a guy. I would much rather, at this point, I'd rather them trade Mountcastle because selfishly, I still think Kobe Mayo is going to be a very good player.
Yeah.
And if you want Kobe Mayo, for me, you will have to be giving up a very top of the line pitcher because I think he is going to be that good. So, I would love to then be able to flip Mountcastle and some prospects for guys.
Yeah.
Keep Mayo as your backup first baseman, get him into the DH role sometimes. But
I think a lot of people overlook the farm system. There's still a lot of talent down there that can be traded away. I'm with you on the Kobe Mayo. I know that there's a lot of noise about him being traded away. My thing about Kobe is that we've seen the pop that he has, and not just on the major league level, because in my opinion, he hasn't proven himself yet. But when we saw him in the minor leagues and the way that he was tearing it up in AAA, if that Kobe Mayo shows up next year and he's not an Oriole, I'm gonna be real sad about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real sad about it.
Exactly. Because you all know, like if he goes to Washington, if he goes to Miami, joins them. I mean, he and Stowers batting 4, 5, 3, 4, however you want to put them. That's going to be such a fun lineup to watch them. Agustin Ramirez. I have put so much stock. And here's the thing. I know this isn't really something official. I don't know. Like, he's an athlete. Like, if he can just hold.
Well, he
down
was
the
playing
corner,
third.
Yeah.
So playing the outfield isn't that much of a stretch.
Yeah, like and also I hate to be this way. Could he be that much worse than like how Ryan O'Hearn was when he first started? Like, that was we put a first baseman out in the outfield.
Yeah.
Like, it just can't be like he's got that bat is so valuable.
It is.
That why would you not want that in your lineup? The only thing that I would hate is, honestly, I would hate it for Mayo if he does get kind of stuck in that, just because he won't get as many plate appearances. And I think where he could really thrive and jump out there. But I mean, after this year, you don't have Taylor Ward, guys like that. So there's still questions in the outfield. I don't see why Mayo couldn't be a guy that comes in there and if he's playing right field, getting reps out there. The only, Cowser and Beavers are your two, but they don't like batting Beavers right now against lefties. So do you put Kobe in right field against lefty? I think there are ways to get around it where I'm against platooning, but if it's two younger guys like Beavers and Mayo that I think both have very high upside. Yeah. Jeremiah Jackson as well. I think the Orioles, I mean, God.
Jeremiah, look.
Feels good to say this.
Kobe Mayo
got too much talent.
That's always been their problem. And then they platoon, but I think they have platooned the wrong guys.
I agree.
Jeremiah Jackson, listen, Kobe Mayo can't be a worse outfielder than Jeremiah Jackson. Jeremiah Jackson has been an incredible at bat last year. They got to figure out a place for that guy, but the outfield is not it for him right now. So they can put Kobe Mayo out there, and maybe let's see how that goes. Look, these are conversations more for Ryan's and getting his perspective on it. But listen, man, like, I just would hate to see, because of what we just talked about, all the bat talent, all the potential bat talent between some of the prospects that come up with Jeremiah Jackson, with Kobe Mayo, with even a Sam Basayo, some of these younger guys that are quote unquote unproven, but just from the small sample size that we've seen, my God, man, like, I just don't know. We got all the big bats that I think that the Orioles need. It's just where do you put them all day in and day out?
And I keep forgetting about Tyler O'Neill, to be honest. Every time I talk about outfield bats,
well,
look, think like
it's easy to forget.
Yes,
general
but
soreness.
I will say this, and like, as much as we clown him for he wasn't on the field much or anything. If he returns if he could just play in 130 games like he did in Boston,
that's wishful thinking
and hurt, I mean, it happened in 24, but if he plays in, what was it? I think he played in 130 was like he played in only 113 games, but 31 homers. He played 100. That's where it was. 138 in 2021, hit 34 homers. But heck, if he just gives you 100 games and hits 30 homers, like, that is a massive addition. That he had how many 61 RBIs that year.
I guess. I mean,
obviously wishful thinking, but like, that's just like, if you're gonna have him, you just gotta hope that happens.
The Blue Jays had more postseason games played than Tyler O'Neill the entire season.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, it was extremely disappointing when you, all things considered, how he wasn't on the field. But if he can just get healthy and just be the Tyler O'Neill that just hits a crap ton of home runs, that would be, I mean, you add Taylor Ward and you add Pete Alonso. I mean, that's really right there when you think about it. When you go from Gunnar to Pete to Taylor Ward to Tyler O'Neill. I'm not going to put any of the young guys in yet because they haven't done it. But those four all have proven to be 30 home run power hitters. I mean, Alonso's 40 home run power.
Yeah.
Gunner's mid 30s. We see, but that is a lot. We want to see pop in Baltimore. I mean, that's definitely a lineup now. It's staying healthy, which hopefully you have Taylor Ward, who is model consistency. Alonso, same thing. Gunner's always out there. Except for obviously to start this past year. But it just feels like for the most part, they've got a lot of pop and a lot of guys that can drive in runs. And so that's what you need. That's what you need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, getting back to the poll, You said you think Mike King is the most likely one?
Yeah, if I had to, and that's like I said, maybe this is just recency bias because a week ago I would have said just unequivocally it's Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, I mean
wouldn't have
that's how
even
we felt
questioned it.
during the winter meeting.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even questioned it. They're connected to everyone. This is one of those weird years where I don't know who they sign, not because of the usual, like it's the Orioles, they're not going to sign anyone, but because we've seen them be aggressive in every facet.
Right.
It's just so I don't know. I think I would just
I'm with
King
you.
right now
I think
feels like-
I think Michael King makes a lot of sense. Zero drama, associated. Ranger Suarez had a little bit of back and forth, especially with the Phillies. Maybe he ends up back with the Phillies. I don't know. Maybe that's why he wanted 7 years. It's really kind of a head scratcher if those rumors are indeed true. And obviously, we know the Valdez situation too, as far as locker room and outside the field kind of drama, if you will. So, Michael King, anybody gonna be mad about that? I don't think so.
No, that's a guy who, over the past few years, has really. I mean, it's funny because when he was a part of the Juan Soto trade, coming from New York, and all of that. But there were Yankees fans that were kind of talking, reporters that Michael King, like, he is closer to an ace than he is a bum. And he kind of proved that immediately when he went to San Diego this past year. Not as, great. So a 3.44 ERA across 15 games. He's just a guy that it feels like if you sign him and he gives you a 3 ERA, his 2 seasons prior were 2.95 and 2.75. So if he gives you a 3 ERA and you're paying him $23 million a year for 4 years, I mean, to add him as your number 3 behind Rogers, behind Bradish, you go get another guy. Maybe it's Mackenzie Gore, Freddie Peralta. You add them, and now suddenly Michael King is your 3 or 4. I mean, you're in a fantastic position.
Dean Kramer's your number 5 pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, that's that by in and of itself. I know we all think very highly of Dean, but Dean's a guy who he's going to just go out there and kind of get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you could sit Dean, have him start in May, and then he'll be electric.
And then he'll win the Cy Young.
Yeah.
At that point.
That's right.
We can just get Dean out of April.
Yeah, that's 100%. Jamie says if you trade for good starting pitching, Mayo got to go Mountcastle, not getting you an ace. No, I agree with that, and I don't think that the trade is going to be for an ace. I think it's going to be for maybe a younger arm, unproven talent. We brought up
like
Edward Cabrera.
I think it'll be more for, and I think Mountcastle is not the main guy in the trade. If you're going to trade Mountcastle for an upper echelon pitcher, it's going to be Mountcastle plus a bunch of prospects. Mountcastle is going to be the guy that you're throwing in because they want a major league ready first baseman to play for this year. Hopefully that they can then, if he plays well, they re-sign him, get an extension going, something like that. No, Mountcastle isn't going to be this prize gem that gets you a star, frontline pitcher. But if he's a part of a package that also sends guys like Trey Gibson, maybe a Boston Bateman, these higher overall prospects, then you add on Mountcastle. I think Mountcastle is a guy that help us help you, and you help us, where you give us a pitcher, we'll give you a starting first baseman for this year and then some prospects that will be up in the next year or so and can help you out. So it would be a more in the moment focus for the Orioles while they also free up some space in the lineup, or I'm not even going to consider in the lineup because I don't think Mountcastle has a spot in the lineup right now. On the bench, you clear off a spot because right now there's just nowhere for these guys to.
My thing is, if you, as we're talking about Mountcastle, if somehow, if the O's weren't in the same division as the Blue Jays should be going after Mountcastle.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, I just love Toronto.
He just loves playing there. It's gotta feel good when he walks in there.
Oh my God.
He touches down in Toronto. He's like, I'm home.
Yeah.
He's like, time to go hit 1 million homers in the next 3 games.
I'll tell you what, that what the trade makes sense there is Bo Bichette for Ryan Mountcastle, and Toronto would still think they probably won that trade.
Gosh, it's going to be intriguing to see.
Well, Boba Fett's free agent, but you know what I'm saying.
It's going to be intriguing to see if he goes back there, if they wait on Tucker.
Yeah.
I saw someone earlier asking about, when are free agents. I think, unfortunately, we're at the time where it's kind of like Corbin Burns last year when he kind of announced around this time. He's like, hey, I'm going to go enjoy Christmas with my family.
Mhm.
I'll let you guys know in January where I'm going. It wouldn't surprise me.
It'll be that first week in January.
Yeah,
because pitchers and catchers got to report 3 weeks after that. So,
I would not be surprised in the slightest if maybe we see one big move come to fruition, but I don't think Tucker or Bichette or any of them. I mean, now Bo Bichette, it's getting out there that he's saying that he's willing to play second base, which just means every team that he's talked to has told him he would play second base because his fielding is in the 1st percentile.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't know if it was his decision to be like, hey, I'll play second base, or if it was every team being like, hey, we're interested in you, but as a second baseman. But that bat, you can't deny that bat. That's fine.
Definitely not.
It's going to be a fun offseason.
Hey, there's a game going on tonight.
Yes, there is.
Is this the game that you were betting on?
Of course.
And this is the game that is brought to you by, well, the game's not brought to you by, but this is our segment that's brought to you by Hollywood Casino out there in Charlestown Races in West Virginia. It's not the same.
Yeah, just without.
Doesn't have the same vibe.
Without Rip,
we need a third.
Yeah, kind of throwing it off.
Not very harmonious.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Bolly's Bets has been brought to you by Hollywood Casino over there in Charlestown Races in West Virginia. And Bolly, what do you got for tonight's game?
We're going back to a guy that we've bet on a few times. He's come through for us each and every single time. He's led the Seahawks in receiving in every game but one. We just saw Amon-Ra St. Brown go off against this Rams defense. So we're going with Jackson Smith and Jigba over 87.5 receiving yards as our prop of the day. Still not over Monday night when we needed 80 from Achane. He was at 49 at half, and then they gave him 4 more rushes in the second half because then suddenly the Steelers, they get the ball back and the Steelers are up like 20. I was like, this is not ideal, but we're bouncing back. So here's how we're bouncing back. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, over 87.5 receiving yards. Lock it in.
I like it. I think he goes over 100, to be honest with
you. He's always that guy. And it's funny because I was between he and Puka, funny enough, because both of them are the guy, and Rip and I will text about it. I'll be like, his line set at 90.5. I'm like, that's just too many yards. I'm like, that's so many yards to get. And then you look up in the second half, in the second quarter, and you're like, he's at 75 yards already. You're like, 90 was too low.
Right.
So we're just going to 87.5. As much as part of me is like, that's a lot of yards. I say that every time. And then he sits there with like 140 by the end of the night. So Jackson Smith and Jigba,
lock it
over
in.
87.5.
Lock it in. Great job, Zach. And so, yes, that was brought to you by Hollywood Casino over there in Charlestown Races in West Virginia. And I think that does it for today's show.
I do as well. I think we
another efficient one, Zach.
Another efficient one. Had a great conversation with Draymond Jones. If you just tuned in, we'll have that full interview out later, so you can just go click on that one.
Yeah, this is like a sneaky interview. We didn't really publicize. We're trying to do something different. Trying to actually make you come watch the show.
Yeah, come see the video.
You got to come for the interviews. Listen, Draymond was great. Loved having him on. Shout out to him for taking the time. And I know I'm probably going to hear it from Rip. So, low-key, Ryan sent us a video that he wanted us to share with Draymond Jones. And I made the executive decision as the executive producer to say, no, can't do. Because it was bad. Listen, I know Ryan's watching. I love you, man. It was going to break up the conversation so bad. It was not good.
And also, I will say, with the whole internet connection issues, I wonder, that could have been a nightmare if it was just, he was like, what? We're like, we got to play the full 80-second clip again.
Well, low key, that was literally, I'm going to get so much shit for this. It was literally Ryan just having FOMO. I know it's him. I get a text, I don't know, first thing in the morning. Do you know what you're talking about with Draymond today? Like, yes. No, I've never done this before, actually. I have no idea what I'm about to say. I'm shaking in my boots.
Yeah, I can't talk. We're very bad at talking.
Just got to trust me, bro. You trusted me this far.
We talk into a mic every once in a while. I feel like we figured it out. we'll figure it out along the way.
You know, I've actually never talked to a professional athlete in my life.
Yeah.
Never had a guest on, even before the show was conceptualized. Just never talked to anybody.
Nope. Why would you?
No high profile people.
No, that's impossible.
Not something I'm used to doing. Just enjoy your honeymoon, bro. You only got a couple days left. That being said, guys, we thank you so much for tuning in as well. Ryan will be back Monday as we react to the Patriots game and everything else that went on throughout this weekend. But Zach over there will be back Friday, tomorrow, live at 5.
Live at 5, baby.
To talk about hopefully something that happened between now and the next 24 hours.
Like, it would be really cool if Michael King was just like an Oriole tomorrow.
Hey,
that would be a lot of fun. We could talk about that for a while. But
yeah.
Although I'm not traveling at all. And I knew the second last Wednesday. I actually texted Rip before I left.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, driving to Ohio. And I put in the text as a joke. And I said, I'll make sure when news drops on my drive, I find a Burger King instead of McDonald's because the service, I was like, because service was so bad at that McDonald's. So next thing you know, I'm on the highway. I get a buzz. I see Pete Alonso signs with the Orioles. I do the smart thing. I put my hazards on and pull to the side of the highway so I can record a quick video freaking out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It's like, I see there's fast food up there. I was like, I'll just go. And I pull up and it's like right next to me, it's a Burger King. And I was like, would you look at that? I was like, it was all written in the stars.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. And Zach, will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
See you tomorrow. Live at 5, baby.